Welcome everyone to Bracket Bashers, the podcast. We take a bracket of 32, 64, 128 or more, and banter our way down to a winner. I am your humblest of hosts this week, and this is my lovely guest coming out of the director's chair today. We have Isaac. Isaac, how are you doing today, there, sir?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. It's an honor and pleasure to be here, man. This is always fun, just sitting back and talking about brackets and talking about movies, especially.
That is actually what we're doing today. We're talking about movies specifically, as you can't tell from the little icon that you clicked on. We're talking about uh I forgot his name for
This is when
I
you tell me
I
that we're doing Will Smith movies,
yeah,
and
well, you're
I
doing Will Smith movies.
definitely watched all the wrong movies.
We're not doing Will Smith movies. We actually already did a Will Smith tournament. Sorry. Uh, no, it that threw me off because we were just talking about Will Smith. So this week we are not talking about Will Smith. We kind of, but we are talking about Leonardo DiCaprio. We have a Sweet 16 of Leonardo DiCaprio movies, and we are going to find a winner. It is going to be Isaac, the audience who has been voting along with this entire thing, is going to be helping us out, and then of course myself as the third person vote. Winner moves on, goes on to the entire thing. We have passed a partial this week as far as lifelines go. Path to partial goes to Will Smith via Chat GPT because as big head as we are, we don't have that kind of big bucks. And even though I'm pretty sure Will Smith could use the work right now, he is not actually here to do this. So Chat GPT is being our friend at this current time via. It's going to be Will Smith via Chat GPT for Path to Parcel. Path to Parcel works this way. One time, actually, you know what? Since there's just three of us, anytime during the show, if you want to pass the parcel, if you do not want to vote for any particular reason to Will Smith via Chat GPT, you can do so, and we will be reading off his remarks for that particular vote. When each movie leaves us, we'll also be reading off the remarks and the rankings that Will Smith via ChatGPT put him on there as well. You can use that many times you want, up into including. Let's go the semi-final round because it's Sweet 16. I'm going to go give you your extra round back. I will let you know when that happens as well. Steal a vote. Steal a vote, as always, works the same way, all the way up into the final four in this situation. Instead of giving your vote to the audience, you can to Will Smith via Chat GPT off this one. You can steal the audience's vote or my vote or anybody else's vote you so choose and get two. The cool thing about having three people, there are three voters on this situation, you steal somebody's vote, it automatically moves on to the next round. Because of
Yeah, it's
course
guaranteed.
that's how math works. So, and of course, last but not least is blowing your load. Uh, if you're one of the first ones to go and don't want to be the first ones to go, as always, you can blow your load. This means you're going last. If somebody else blows their load after you, you are no longer going last. You're going directly before them, and so on and so forth. And when you do happen to blow your load, you will hear this sound.
Oh!
All right.
Wow, that was really loud in my ears. I should probably turn my shit down. I don't mind hearing stuff like that really loud in my ears, but it is what it is. All right, so that's the beginning of our show. Isaac starts us off. Isaac, it is either Titanic or Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. So I actually, um, I remember seeing Romeo and Juliet in freshman year of high school. And, that was when we were just like studying that in literature class, and we watched, uh, you know, Hollywood retellings and such. And easily out of all of the retellings, this one that Leo is in is easily the most ridiculous one. Um, a lot of people love the modern take. I mean, at least a lot of people define it as it gets better with time. um, but I don't know. Also, Titanic. I mean, everybody knows Titanic. It was the highest grossing movie for the longest time. Fun fact. So, um, to this day, now I'll admit this one. I still have not seen Titanic in full. Uh, even for this bracket, I did not prioritize Titanic just because everybody kind of gets the gist. since what 1993, right? Or something like that.
96.
96? Yeah,
96.
okay. Yeah, I think everybody gets the gist. I think how I want to approach these, I think, I don't know. Freddie, tell me if you're doing this any differently, but how I'm going to do it is just based off of Leo's performance specifically, like just isolated Leo's participation, not how good the movie is on which movie is better, but um, obviously, I mean, Titanic being so timeless, you have to go with Titanic over Romeo and Juliet, I'd like to think.
Well, so your final vote is
Titanic, of course.
okay. Titanic gets your vote. The audience also is going with Titanic off of this one. It is a 27 vote difference between the two of them.
Wow.
I am not. I'm going to go for Romeo and Juliet off of this one. This movie is, as said before, this movie is absolutely ridiculous. Like it is
Yes.
one of the dumbest things, and it's weird to believe that this is actually based on Shakespeare, and it's not even based on Shakespeare. Like it is word for word what it is, and you can definitely tell that it is a Boz Lerman production because it is definitely where it has some really good uh, acting moments, and it's for what it is, for what the movie is. It's also there are so many pre-stars in this movie, including Leonardo DiCaprio. Claire Danes is in there as well. So check that one out. And one of my favorite facts about this movie is there is a Evanescence song out there. I think it's called "Bring Me to Life." I'm not for certain if it's that one or not, but there is a part in that song that is long believed, and I don't know if it's ever been proven or not. But there's a clip from this movie where Juliet is talking to the friar in this situation, and she says that she longs to die off of this one, and that clip is part of the actual song in "Bring Me to Life." It's just screamed, and it's one of the coolest. It's one of those things like when you hear it, next time you hear it, you're not gonna be able to unhear it type thing.
I'll
It's
have
just
to look into that. I'll
yeah.
have to pay attention to that.
But yeah, I'm gonna go for Romeo and Juliet off this one. I'm not surprised Titanic won. I mean, Titanic is a blockbuster event. Titanic. I remember people lined up outside of the video rental place
Hmm.
to rent it when it came out. That's not including like going out to actually watch it in movie theaters. And it's definitely a movie theater movie. Once you
Yeah.
get those like two VHS tapes combined, or even when it came out on DVD, it was still two DVDs combined. It's just it is what it is. Titanic gets two to my one.
All right.
Big Willie off of this one ranked Romeo and Juliet as spot number 12. Says stylish and intense, but melodrama heavy. I appreciate the creativity more than the actual experience.
Oh man. Oh,
Dude, ChatGPT can be harsh at times. I'm just
yeah. AI Will Smith has gone through a journey. First it was eating spaghetti, now it's doing a tournament bracket for Leo movies.
audience starts us off in a looks like a 20 looks like in a 17 vote difference off of this one between The Departed and Gangs of New York. The Departed gets that vote. I'm gonna go with Gangs of New York off of this one.
Okay.
I I enjoy The Departed for what it was, but The Departed is one of those movies that you watch maybe once or twice. It's a it's a great cinematic experience,
Hmm.
but so is The Godfather.
Hmm.
So is Citizen Kane. So is some other stuff like goes Gone with the Wind. But all those movies, they don't really have a rewatchability. You watch it like once or twice, You watch it once just to say you did it. You watch it twice to get the full experience of it. But after that, it kind of becomes redundant. Gangs of New York, on the opposite hand, may not be a cinematic experience, which I believe it is, but a lot of people don't. It's also one of those movies that you watch over and over and over again because every time you watch it, you catch something else. Because there's just so much to it, and it's a damn good movie just to start off with. So, Gangs of New York getting my vote. The Departed gets audience. Isaac, your tie-breaking decision. Is it Gangs of New York or Departed on this?
So, going back to how I'm gonna rank these simply due to the Leo performance isolated, right? Because I do think you make a really good point. Gangs of New York, I'm a complete nerd for all of that stuff. I liked. I know John Dillinger has nothing to do with this movie, but I like gangster stuff like that and retellings like that. Um, Gangs of New York is definitely a fun movie that is rewatchable. Most of these movies I've only seen once for the sake of this tournament, which
Hmm?
thank you for giving me that opportunity. I've seen a lot of good movies now. Um, but I feel as though Leo's performance in this, it is good, right? Like almost none of these you could even say is bad. But I feel like him as a character, he's kind of just like a reactionary guy for the most part in this movie. Um, I think if people want to watch this movie, it's for Daniel Day-Lewis, really. This is more of a Daniel Day-Lewis movie than it is a Leo movie, in my opinion. And so, um, when I take that and I see The Departed, where Leo looks like one of the most disgruntled people you've ever seen, and he's weighing, he's holding his own with Matt Damon and Jack Nicholson, and it's like, yeah, that one, although not as fun of a watch, I think a better performance by Leo, and so I'm gonna go with The Departed.
All right, I can't hate on it. Next up, I get to start us off on this one. It is either, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna steal somebody's vote right off the bat because I know the one I'm voting for is not a cup of tea for everybody else. But I'm gonna be nice and not steal your vote. I'm gonna steal the
Yeah.
audience's vote.
Okay.
But it is between the Revenant and the Quick and the Dead.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not a huge fan of the Revenant.
Okay.
I never have been. I find the movie it has really exciting parts during it. I understand that. Cool, whatever. And I do find it funny. This is the first movie, and I think the only movie that DiCaprio's ever actually won
Won
a
an Oscar for.
legitimate Oscar for, which is a travesty because there's been so other many movies before that he should have won an Oscar for. Uh, it's between the Revenant and the Quick and the Dead. I love the Quick and the Dead, not necessarily for Leo's portrayal in this one, which is really good, but you also have other stars in this movie that is just completely off the charts. So it's going to be really hard to get a portrayal in this outside of people like Russell Crowe and Sharon Stone and uh, Gene Hackman. It's also in there as well. So you have three major stars off of that, and then Leonardo DiCaprio. This is like one of his first movies, his
Yeah.
first major movies. So,
Yeah.
but I love this movie. This is a movie that we were. By the way, for anybody else out there who wants to join us for this, in June, the June selection for the recasting call, we will be doing The Quick and the Dead for that month. We're recording in May, however, of course, because it's recorded a month in advance. So if you love The Quick and the Dead, let me know and I can get you in as our guest off of that one. But I'm gonna go for The Quick and the Dead on this one because it's just as a love for my own situation. It gets my vote and it gets the audience's vote. I'm stealing their vote. Isaac, finish this up.
Yeah. This actually might surprise you, but I'm gonna have to agree with you.
Damn it!
Uh, I am gonna have to agree with you because you see, I feel like the Quick and the Dead. I feel like that was like the movie that made Hollywood start to trust Leo as a significant uh, actor. You know, maybe not upper echelon, but a guy that you can rely your story on for how young he was and what was needed of him in that movie. I think for yeah, relatively a very impressive performance. Where I feel like when The Revenant came out, that was like at the peak of, oh my gosh, can you believe that Leo still doesn't have an Oscar? And I feel like it almost. See, I saw The Revenant for the first time ever because of this podcast I'm a part of right now. I was expecting more, to be really honest. At least from what he was doing, it was not a bad performance, but I'm like, this is the Oscar. This is the Oscar role. I was expecting. He definitely has more fun, more well written characters prior to this film,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I feel like he didn't just. I'm not going to go as far to say it was just gifted to him. The Oscar was just gifted to him. I just feel like the entire social aspect around the fact that he had not yet won an Oscar, I think that definitely played a part. So I will vote for The Quick and the Dead myself.
I just wasted a steal of vote. Damn it.
Sorry about that, brother.
It's all right. Happens. Isaac starts this off. Isaac, it is either Blood Diamond or Wolf of Wall Street.
Ooh, I'm trying to remember Blood Diamond. What happened in Blood Diamond? Sorry. Actually, you know what? Do I really have to say anything? Wolf of Wall Street might be my favorite Leo movie. So I'm just gonna I know I'm usually long-winded. I'm just gonna get straight to the point. Wolf of Wall Street.
In a 41 vote difference off of this one. There is, it is, yeah, Blood Diamond did not go very far. In a 41 vote difference off of this one, Wolf of Wall Street also gets the audience vote. Wolf of Wall Street will be getting my vote. Uh, I love this. I love the cast of this movie too. The cast, when they say perfectly casted movies, this is one of those perfectly cast movies. Like, just like, I don't think I would change a thing on this. Even wishful thinking, I don't think I would change a thing on the casting of this movie. It just came out perfect. Okay, so three now off of that one as well. Let's get back to Big Willie because we've been forgetting about Big Willie off of this one.
Yeah,
Gangs of
yeah.
New York. Let's see if I can find Spot number 8 for Gangs of New York off of this one out of 16. So halfway
Not bad.
through it, it says ambitious and powerful, but heavy. I admire the swing even if it's not for something I'd live in. The Revenant is lower than I thought it would be. Spot number 13. But technically amazing, but suffering isn't the point for me. Endurance alone isn't a story I'd chase.
Hmm.
And
Interesting take. Yeah, Will Smith.
Blood Diamond, which is higher than I thought it would be. Spot number 6 out of 18. That's pretty good.
Oh wow.
Uh, this hits close to home. Action with meaning, and it's intense, grounded, and driven by conscience. It not just spectacle. You know, like, I know ChatGPT Smith can be savage at times, but realistically, a lot of these comments, for because we've done ChatGPT stuff with the commentary before on stuff, a lot of these comments for ChatGPT is love or hate ChatGPT. Because I know a lot of artists out there absolutely can't stand it because it's stealing work, which it is. But granted, it's also work that I probably wouldn't have paid for anyway. So you're not stealing. It's not stealing from you because I just wouldn't have uh,
Yeah.
spent the money on it. So, but I got to tell you, sometimes these ChatGPT as a critic is spot on. So I got to give it to that one. Audience.
Wait, before we do move forward. Oh yeah, and the audience. I will say Blood Diamond is a little underrated. It's just not the most exciting thing.
It's a hard
Um,
watch too.
it's just going back, to the isolated how I felt Leo did. he did really good. I think he it was very impressive. A lot of people think that this should have been his Oscar. You know, um, I'm not gonna go as far to say that, but like it's what I've noticed is that there are a lot of roles where Leo has to be more of a unique character than an angry white guy, and yeah, there was a lot of effort needed for that Blood Diamond role, but still, it's going up against a Wolf of Wall Street. You
Yeah,
you
that's
can't.
just a bad. It's a bad matchup.
Yeah.
The where I personally thought Leo should have won his Oscar is actually coming up in our next one. Audience starts us off. It is either The Aviator or Catch Me If You Can. In a 10 vote difference for the audience, Catch Me If You Can gets that vote. I'm gonna go for Catch Me If You Can as well. Uh,
Mm,
I don't mind The Aviator, but like it's also not something I'd go back and rewatch. And rewatchability for me is a key to
yeah,
a majority of stuff. It's not some it if it's only something I'm gonna watch once, then it's not really worth spending the $25 to buy the movie for.
I agree.
It's just not. So if it's something that I can put on in the background when it's on TV or when it's just some I want something to I can have in the background to like study to or something like that. That's the type of movie I want to have. And Catch Me If You Can realistically is a lot more fun than
Yeah,
Aviator is,
yeah,
and I just can't get behind anything that involves Howard Hughes. So on a
yeah.
personal point off of that one. So it gets my vote, gets the audience's vote. Isaac, finish this up.
All right. So I know that my vote just about makes no difference at this point, but I will say Aviator, from a Leo performance standpoint, was probably one of his most demanding roles in his career. I'd like to think. It's going to take a lot of money for me to get naked and go crazy on screen. Aviator, I think, was very impressive. You had to hold an accent, uh, be naked, uh, watch yourself go crazy. I think it's a very convincing movie. Um, but this is actually kind of a tough matchup for me, specifically because I also love Leo's performance in Catch Me If You Can. I'm also a Spielberg stan, so that doesn't really help too. But I think this is probably the most neck and neck first round matchup for me personally. Um, but Catch Me If You Can is really fun. You make a really good point of that. I also agree about your rewatchability stance. We bring that up in my own personal movie reviews on the podcast, my podcast. But ooh, this one's tough. This one really is tough. I'm gonna have to go. I mean, shoot, wait a second. Which one came after the fact? I might just have to go with whatever one he was younger in. Shoot.
Probably Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, he was very young in that. Yeah, I think I've seen interviews of him talking about how good Spielberg is working with teenagers and stuff. I think for how young DiCaprio was for that role, but how I almost feel like he did a better performance than uh,
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks in that one. He was so charismatic, and he's playing a charismatic character. I mean, you have to be when you're running from the law, right? And so, yeah, I think just edging it out, in my opinion, it would be Catch Me If You Can. It's a closer battle than most people think.
Three and Out gets a vote off of that one. I put a lot of stock into the entire rewatchability like that, which is also why a lot of comedies and stuff move on because you have to be in a certain mood to watch serious movies.
Yeah,
To watch comedies, it's a lot easier to do it because it's just everybody wants to feel good.
absolutely.
I mean, dopamine is a thing. Speaking of movie reviews, by the way, uh, Isaac has his entire podcast, do entire movie reviews as well. If you one of these days, I'm gonna have to send you some movie reviews I've done on the entire um, head bastard movie review thing that I've been doing, the entire
Yeah,
Facebook page. I'm in the process of doing an entire James Bond situation,
nice.
but I also just did Joe Dirt,
Yeah,
so it's like there's
a little
different
bit
like
of whiplash.
yeah, and apparently I'm a little harsh when it comes to movies.
Okay.
I think there's only been one movie that's gotten a passing grade so far,
Oh wow. Yeah.
and that's been Goldmember. So
Okay. Yeah.
so if you want to talk about high marks, like I'm sitting there going, it's like, dude, it's but not sorry, not Goldmember, Goldfinger. Goldmember is a completely different movie.
Okay. Yeah, that is.
Sorry, my bad. And I made that same mistake when I was talking to somebody else about that the other day. But
Uh,
yeah, it's a trip. But I'm always taking suggestions on what movies to do. I have a laundry list now of movies that I haven't seen. Next one is The Last Dragon
all
because
right.
it came up on the podcast last week, and I'm sitting there going, "It's like I've never seen that." So I start this one off. It is either going to be Django Unchained or
Mm.
What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Uh, Obviously, I'm going to go for Unchained. I have spoken poetically about this movie and lovingly about this movie for the longest time. Uh, he's really great in this movie, but the rest of the cast in this movie is absolutely fantastic too. And so I'm just going to tell you that I'm going to vote for it right now. However, What's Eating Gilbert Grape? I I don't like the movie, but I love the fact that the high school I went to, Tummel High School down in uh, Tummel, Iowa, south southeast of the entire Iowa state. Leonardo DiCaprio, when he's stuck up in that tree, is
Yeah.
wearing an Entummo Bulldog sweatshirt.
Oh, that's really cool, actually.
Yeah, I don't know how in the hell he got it, but I always thought that was cool. It's one of those things like I I didn't even know it was there until I was watching the movie. I'm like, wait a minute, okay, that entire ironically enough, Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's sitting there all shocked, pointing at the screen or TV or whatever. That's exactly my reaction when I saw that the first time. So I thought that was kind of cool. What's Eating Gilbert Grape does not get my vote. Django Unchained across the board for me. Gets it. Isaac.
So I'm glad that you voted Django Unchained because out of all of these, the movie I definitely completely even forgot was even in this tournament was What's Eating Gilbert Grape. And I had never seen it prior. I have no notes, no notes, but it's safe to say that how much I loved Django Unchained, I don't think What's Even Eating Gilbert Grape probably had a chance, to be really honest, because yeah, Django, I even texted you about it. Django Unchained immediately became my favorite Tarantino movie. Loved it, loved it, loved it. No notes.
Um, yeah, there's a Leonardo DiCaprio, Jamie Foxx, Christoph Waltz, which is
Yeah,
somebody who I didn't know before this, with the exception of Inglorious Bastards, which
yeah.
is one of my he's one of my favorite villains because it's kind of hard to hate him, even though you know that he's an absolutely heinous person. He has that such of uh, good guy persona, and then he flips on a dime is absolutely sick, and I love it. And he's also one of these people that we just did for their casting call coming out this next week. We just did the movie Casablanca. You ever seen
Oh,
Casablanca?
no, it's on my list because it's obviously a classic,
Oh,
but
it
I
is a
have
classic.
not seen it yet. No.
It's a good movie to watch once or twice. It's one of those things that
Yeah.
it doesn't have a lot of high rewatchability appeal, but it's good to watch it one just to say that you've seen it. But the the French German dude that's kind of a in between for the regular people and the Nazis. He's the guy in charge, but he just doesn't want to be there, type thing.
Yeah.
He's abusing his power as much as he possibly can. Uh, I I recasted that person, uh, that character to be Christopher Christoph Waltz in that role. And when you see the movie, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So there's that. Jingle Unchained gets 3 votes off of this one. Moves on. I think that's the most. That was going to be the most lopsided thing in this entire thing. Uh, Isaac starts us off. It is
Yes, sir.
either The Beach or Great Gatsby.
Ooh, okay. So, okay. Obviously, the beach. This is still like young Leo era, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, did he? Okay, real quick question. Do you know whether or not he actually had to jump off of a cliff in that movie
I don't
into the
know, but it
water?
looked cool.
It did look cool. And if that's real, that might take the cake. I have something against The Great Gatsby. It's a good movie, but The Great Gatsby 2013 follows Django Unchained, which is 2012, and I just couldn't help but think that he really anchored his Great Gatsby performance in his um, Django Unchained performance. It just had a lot of parallels. And I know obviously it's very different movies, but as far as the character that Leo was playing, it gave me the vibes of just copy and paste almost. And out of that principle alone, I'm gonna have to go with the beach.
All right. Well, just to strengthen that, according to the AI overview via Google, it says yes, Leonardo DiCaprio actually performed the high cliff jump into the water for the 2000 film The Beach. The scene featuring his character Richard leaping from the high ledge into the water below was filmed on location at the uh, word I'm not going to pronounce or name I'm not going to pronounce waterfall in the Thailand, another name I'm not going to try to pronounce, national park.
How
So
about that then?
I mean, props to him. Like that is.
Yeah, I think that was like really the role he started digging deeper with his emotional range, in my opinion. Like, I mean, The Quick and the Dead still pretty impressive, and soon after the beach, but um, I think the beach he kind of started unlocking a little bit of more depth to what he can do as an actor.
Well, the audience did not agree with you in this situation, in a 13 vote
Ooh.
difference, going for the Great Gatsby. I think that's more name value than anything else because, as we were just discussing, the beach is pretty early ish
Yeah,
in the career.
yeah.
Uh, he was a star at that point, but it's not necessarily the A list big blockbuster movie that like the Titanic is or Departed or stuff like this. It's just he was the main star of that entire thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh, I agree with you though. However, I think The Beach is a better movie altogether than Great Gatsby is. I do like the movie Great Gatsby. I just think that I think the overall visual of the movie, the background, the way it's shot, and everything else. So the actual visual aspect of the movie takes control of everything.
The visual aspect of Great Gatsby.
Yeah,
Okay.
like just the way it's shot.
Yeah.
Um, so looking at through that lens, pun fully intended off of that one. I'm gonna go with the beach because honestly enough, the storyline's better. Which I hate knocking down Fitzgerald off of this one, but it is what it is. Uh, I the storyline's better. The the action is better. Jumping off the cliff and everything else. And if you want to talk about rewatchability, The Beach is one of those silent movies that you don't know what you're gonna get at the beginning of it, but it's so worth the watch.
Mm.
So it gets my vote. It moves on too off of that one in a surprising matchup. Last up, audience starts us off. It is either Inception or Shutter Island. In a 20 vote difference off of this one, Inception gets that vote. I I'm gonna go for Inception as well. Like I I can't even say that I enjoyed Shutter Island. I was confused as hell the entire time, and I'm sitting there going, it's like, okay, it's not past the 20-year mark, so I can't spoil it. But I'm sitting there going, it's like, do you not know the ending to this, people? It's like the Sixth Sense. It's like once you figure it out in your head, which happened for me pretty early in the movie. I think that's what ruined it. It kind of just it was just a movie at that point, and I got bored with it pretty quickly. Inception gets my vote off of that one. Isaac, is it Inception or Shutter Island?
So I will say, Shutter Island is actually my. I was talking to my friend about doing this podcast and watching a lot of Leo movies. Um, Shutter Island is his favorite Leo movie. Um, yeah, yeah. I only had the privilege of seeing it once, um, but I'm told in the general scope that this is a movie that in the rewatch you see it from a completely different
Mm-hmm.
perspective of because of the things that you know now. Um, but are you, were you go as far as to say that Shutter Island is predictable though?
Once you once you have it in your head what happened, and for a lot of people they don't realize it till the end of the movie, much like the entire Sixth Sense was.
Mm, yeah,
Okay, so much like the Sixth Sense, when you watch it the second time, it you watch it differently.
yeah,
So, but when you figure it out in the beginning of the movie, just Saw is the same way. I have a buddy of mine who literally left the theater really pissed off because at the beginning of Saw, he was sitting there talking to the person he was with. He goes, "If that motherfucker gets up at the end of the movie, I swear to God." And
yeah,
he wasn't dead during the movie, and I'm sitting and he got all really pissed off. And it was one of those things that I was sitting there thinking to myself during Shutter Island. I'm like, if this turns out the way that it is in my head, this is this is just wrong.
yeah.
And it turned out that way. So it and the more it went on, the more I was more convinced about that was going on. So the second time watching it is different for the rest of the people. But for me, their second time watching it was like my first time watching it. So I never got that first time watching it. I only got half the experience because unfortunately I had it in my head correct the first time, where a majority of people don't. And that's not a flex, by the way. That's not something I want to happen. I want to go on the ride as much as anybody else. I am a wrestling fan, for God's sakes, and people keep saying, sorry, the people writing it keep going, just let it play out, let it play out. I'm like, no, this is absolutely stupid. But I have to stop myself from doing that and saying, it's like, you got to, this will all make sense in the end, stuff like that. And it doesn't for majority of the time, but I don't know. But that's the reason why. Anyway, we got sidetracked. Your vote, sir.
Yeah, not that it matters, but I am gonna vote for Shutter Island just in the sense of Leo's performance. I think it's definitely you do have to be convincing enough for such a movie to tell its specific tale. I am not saying that it's a better movie. I think Inception is one of the greatest concepts to a movie ever, to be honest. Love Christopher Nolan. Um, I'd probably watch Inception again before I'd watch Shutter Island, unless it's with my buddy. But uh, yeah, my vote would be to Shutter Island in the aspect of Leo's performance.
I love the um, idea of Shutter Island. I
Yeah.
do. I think this would make a great horror movie. Like if you want to do a horror movie, I think it'd be great.
It,
Uh,
you
uh,
know,
another horror movie idea that I've always wanted to see somebody do, but I'm not a fucking director. I want somebody to come up. You ever seen the show Traders? It's on Peacock.
I'm not a TV show watcher very often. It takes
Okay.
up a lot of time. But what's
Do you
up?
ever play the game Mafia as a kid?
Ooh, I've heard about it and I've
Okay.
seen clips, but I never played it.
The the basic idea of this game, which is what Traders is that you have like six like 20 people, but three of them are mafia, or
Yeah.
in this show, traders. The rest of them are either the police or civilians, or in the show, traders. They're called the faithful. So each day during this game, the faithful, or sorry, the traders in this one, or the mafia. So same people, good guys, bad guys. Three bad guys rest good guys. Each night, the bad guys get to quote unquote kill off one of the good guys.
Oh,
And then
okay.
each day, the good guys get to vote out one of the bad guys. But the three bad guys know who the bad guys are. The uh, the good guys don't know who the bad guys are. So when they're voting people off, more often than not, they're voting off people who are actual good guys. Okay. Now, my premise on this one's like the entire thing about the show is that they're during the night they're killing people or banishing people.
Hmm.
I want a horror movie much like it's not a truth or dare type thing movie, but there's an entire horror movie out there where people are doing like a truth or dare type game,
Okay.
and they're dying right in front of people, and people don't realize that like it's a game for money. The winner moves on and wins like this big bunch of money, but once you're in the game, you can't walk away from it. So going
Mm,
into
yeah.
this movie that I have in my head, people think it's just a game, but when the first person dies, everybody it becomes real
Get
at that
serious.
point,
Yeah.
and then you see all these people dying, and then I would love it to be like an M Night Shyamalan type movie where there's a twist ending, which I
Yeah.
don't know what it'd be because again, I'm not a movie writer type thing, but I I don't know. I just think as a horror movie construct, I think it'd be great. But I also think Shutter Island as a horror movie construct would be absolutely great.
Yeah.
Like I would imagine Robin Williams in the movie 8 mm type thing. This is an entire mindfuck of a movie, but done in more of a grittier style than even Shutter Island did.
Mm,
Because
yeah.
I don't think Shutter Island honestly went far enough in this movie.
Yeah.
So
See,
which
before
is
watching it, I thought Shutter Island was a horror movie,
yeah.
and then I watch it.
But anyway, starting with Shutter Island. By the way, going back to the Chat GPT, Will spot number 10 off this one. Well made, haunting, but bleak. It sits with you in a way that's uncomfortable and not uplifting. Which, duh. Great Gatsby, number 11. So
Oh, okay.
worse than Shutter Island. Says pretty much exactly what I said. Beautiful to look at, but hollow. I need heart, not just style. So I didn't put it as eloquently as Chat GPT Will did, but yeah. Uh, Apparently, What's Eating Gilbert Grape didn't make this list for some reason.
Didn't make mine.
Yeah, apparently they forgot about it too. And
Wild.
Aviator got spot number 9. Says impressive filmmaking, strong performances, and but emotionally distant. Um, I like connection more than obsession, which I can agree with that. So we have our top 8. We'll be right back right after this break. All right. Before I became a podcaster, I never imagined that all these requests for 5-star reviews did anything important. I was very wrong about that. But being the bastards that we are, we're not going to give you, or no, sorry, we're not going to expect you to give up those 5 stars with nothing in return. I'll trade you for it. You send us a letter or question or anything else you deem necessary along with those 5 stars. We'll not only give you a shout out, but we'll read your submission live on air. We like to call this our thank you to review. You to be part of this thank you to review crew, you can send it to our email address. Yes, I am that old. To bracket BRACKETTY, the number 2, and then R at yahoo.com to get in. It does not only work to be part of the Bachelor, the Thank You to Review crew, but it also works if you want to be a guest on any of the shows on the ABC podcast channel. Today's letter comes from Bethany. Says, "Hey, hello. How's it going, my fellow bastards? I by far love your show. Uh, Apparently, I'm getting old. I can't read this. Um,
It's all
I
good.
by far love your show and the rest of the content as well. I'm I'm missing, but I'm missing Senator Bubbles though. All of your all of you have this collective zest to life, which is great." Signed, Bethany Rao. I'm assuming it's Rao. It's spelled Rowe. It's either Rao or Rowe.
Yeah.
Bethany, if I read that wrong, I do apologize. I have really bad name with a really bad situation with names. I have a question. I have jury duty on the 3rd of next month. By the way, this was sent months ago.
Yeah.
I have a laundry list of stuff to get to. 3rd of next month. What courtroom movies do you recommend? I see Bastards has never done a tournament on this. That is true. Out of all the genres that we've ever done on this show, I figured that courtroom drama would be something that we would have done by now. But she's right. We've never done it. But we do have 12 Angry Men and Kill a Mockingbird coming up on recast in the next couple of months. So if you're a fan of stuff like that, make sure to check out those as well. Um, Isaac, being
Yes.
a filmmaker yourself, what courtroom drama movies would you recommend?
Oh, I mean, I was gonna say, I could give you a quick window of how that tournament should go, which is the best one is 12 Angry Men, in my opinion.
I agree.
And the worst one of all time, and you should just throw it in there for laughs and giggles, is Joker Folie à Deux, because that is the worst, just bad movie. And there's so much stupid courtroom stuff in it. It should just be in there just for people to dunk on it.
I'm gonna disagree with you, but in a weird way.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that 12 Angry Men deserves to be first and last
Oh, okay.
because the the original 12 Angry Men, the 52, I think,
Yes.
version of that is absolutely great. It's one of the best movies of all time. It's ranked 10 or above on almost every all-time great movie list out there. Period. But the 95 version is god awful. I love Jack Lemmon. I really do. He's a phenomenal actor, but that movie is terrible and needs to be left alone. So, but no, I as far as courtroom dramas, 12 Angry Men is a good place to start. Uh, To Kill a Mockingbird is another good one too. I would personally say Miracle on 34th Street
Ah, yeah.
as well. It's a low key court drama, but it really is a court drama, even though it's a Christmas movie. Um, I Speaking of Christmas court movies, by the way, Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer is a low key classic as well. Just it's completely stupid, but it knows what it is, and I enjoy movies that are just they're just meant to be dumb. So there's that. There's other ones out there. Um, Officer and Gentleman is a good one. Uh, and the rest of them don't really come to mind at the top of my head, but it's if you want to go into courtroom dramas, like courtroom movies. Oh, Liar Liar. Check out Liar Liar
Yeah,
as well, dude.
that one's fun.
That's a definite one as far as stuff goes, and it's. I'm actually kind of mad that we've never done a courtroom
Yeah.
tournament. So, and we won't be doing one for a long time because we already have this year booked out. So that's what we got. I said, do you have anything else as far as the courtroom dramas go?
I think I'm all right. I have not seen a ton of courtroom dramas, to be honest. But
It's it's not my favorite genre of stuff, but it's if you want to talk about high tension, courtroom dramas are crazy. Bethany, I hope that you got a good court case, like not for their sake, just for your own sanity. I've never been on jury duty, but I've always wanted to. But for everybody out there who has been on jury duty, I've heard that they've just got really boring cases, and I had to sit there for a week. And it's the last person I talked to said it's the equivalent of sitting in detention. So more power to you. Again, this letter is a couple months old, so it's probably already happened. Either way, again, if anybody out there wants to be like Bethany off of this one, send your letter to our email address, bracketty, the number two, then r at yahoo.com to get in. Again, also works to be on a guest on any of the shows as well on the ABC podcast channel. Back to round two off of this one. I get to start this one off. It is either going to be Titanic or The Departed.
Okay.
See, this is where we start hitting hard off of
Yeah.
these type of situations. Top 8 movies, the bottom half are already gone. I'm not a huge fan of The Departed. Again, rewatchability is the word of the day for me. Titanic, even though I I wish Titanic would have done like a two-part thing.
Yeah, you think so?
End end at the sex scene. Okay, that's where the first movie should have ended because like when that palm hit the glass, that would have been the best way to end the movie. And not even do that, like make it hit the glass and then as her hand goes down, the credits roll with it.
Yeah.
Like that would have been a perfect transition. It would have been great. And because it's 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 Titanic, everybody knows what happens to the Titanic.
Yeah.
It's been down there for 110, 112 years at this point.
Yeah.
No, sorry, 116 years. Went down in 1912. So it's been there for 114 years at this point, and so we all know what happened. It would have been perfect to end the movie there. Next year, do like a Wicked for Good type situation, and just bring it to the second movie because the at that point, the iceberg is. I can't remember if the iceberg hit at that point or not, but like when they come back up for air, no pun intended, they come up for air on the deck, you see ice on the actual thing. So
Yeah.
that would have been a perfect one to stop that.
I mean, if they had the foresight of how much money it made, they could have easily doubled it with something like that. That's crazy.
Exactly.
Also, before you vote, I'm trying to remember the exact rules. Am I allowed to steal a vote
As long as
at
it
this
is
point?
your turn, but it is not.
Ah, damn. Okay.
I'm however, you can steal the audience's vote
Okay.
uh if uh if you want to. I'm gonna go for Titanic off of this one. Again, this is a rewatchability factor. I could watch Departed once,
Yeah.
maybe twice, depending. And if years go by, if I happen to see it on a streaming site that I might I should review this or something like that, I might watch it again. But it's not something I'm gonna go hog wild over for. Titanic is worth a rewatch and rewatch again. Gets my vote. Isaac, what's your vote?
I'm gonna steal the audience's vote. Now, so many people might be mad at me, but I'm gonna go with The Departed uh, for both myself and the audience. Uh, just because um, I don't know. Call me ignorant because I have not seen the Titanic in full. You know, I've seen clips my entire life, but I do think that The Departed was really, really impressive on Leo's part. Now, you know how Leo exits the film might make Titanic better, compared to The Departed. Um, but I'm gonna go with the Departed. Yeah, I think that feels good. Quick question: I was not alive during the Titanic release.
Okay, I'm about to say like
What?
I wasn't alive during the Titanic either.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, but can you give me a window as to why it was so hyped? Like, what was the social
uh,
aspect of what made everybody show up for this movie?
well,
James Cameron? I don't know.
it was okay. First of all, Titanic, the the Titanic story as a whole, to even start with, has been in the culture zeitgeist since it went down.
Yes, yes.
And then in the '80s, when they found it, it just refurbished that, and it's been in the entire cultural type system since then. So when you had a big budget type situation going on with a hell of a director who is in love with the actual Titanic story to even start with, so you had everything going on. Uh, I think I think Leonardo DiCaprio being in it as well, because he was a, and still is to a lot of people, was a huge sex symbol at that
Mm.
time, and this just helped that along. The Kate Winslet wasn't really that big at that point, but then you add like the entire Celine Dion, who was a major star at that point too, during doing the theme song to it. It was just a big movie.
People still make a big deal about that Celine Dion song. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was said last week. Uh, I can't remember why, but it was said because it wasn't a quote that we had, but it was said last week. It was like if you haven't belted out, "My Heart Will Go On" in your car going 50 mile an hour down the highway, have you really lived? I'm sitting
Yeah,
there going, it's like, well, I guess I haven't really lived because I've never done that.
yeah.
I have almost killed my passenger by doing the entire Finn Balor uh,
Mm.
type thing when his music was playing in the car. But all you wrestling fans will get that comment. But no, I've never done that. It's just it was such a huge movie.
Yeah,
Teen heartthrob. It had a lot of hype before it too,
yeah.
so people just kind of wanted to go see it. And then it was a really good movie in theaters. So when it came out, and it was like a year long wait for the actual movie too. It's not like
Oh
now
wow.
where once it's out of theater for like a month, you get it on streaming services. Back then, you had to wait for like major holidays
Wow.
because they wanted the entire revenue for that. So,
Yeah.
and I can't
Sounds like a
remember when.
perfect storm.
Yeah, I can't remember when it came out, but yeah, and it was one of the highest grossing movies for a very long time until like Avatar came out or Star Wars, one of those. I can't remember, but somebody toppled it.
Yeah. James
Departed
Cameron
moves
just
on.
knows how to make movies that make a lot of money, I guess.
Departed moves on to the next round. Isaac starts us off. Isaac, it is either I'm gonna lose this. It is either The Quick and the Dead or Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, Wolf of Wall Street.
I knew
Sorry.
I knew I was gonna lose that. In a 37 37 vote difference off of this one, Wolf of Wall Street also gets the audience vote, but it does not get my vote. I'm gonna die on this hill.
Wow.
I love this movie. It's a movie that doesn't that when I mention it to people, they're like, "Man, it's all right," type thing. Screw you. I love this movie. I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go die on a hill about it.
Is it the dynamic between the son and the dad? Is that it? And it is really good writing.
It is really good writing. I think I'm a fan of westerns.
Okay.
Like in general, I'm a fan of the entire western story front. Even now, like I'm there. I have no problem saying this. I know a lot of guys would, but the Lifetime channel streaming
Yeah.
service, whatever, Lifetime movies, they have a show called When Calls the Heart,
Okay.
and it's been going on for like 13 seasons. Okay,
Wow. That's
so
pretty
it's a
successful.
long running show, and it's one of those shows that I have seen every single season because it's pretty much out in the western part before the West was won type thing. Uh, well, actually, the West was won. This is like about the time that Titanic went down. That was it was just West to the point that nobody really cared about it. The show Hell on Wheels,
Yeah.
stuff like that. I love watching the entire Western stuff. Even uh, Million Ways to Die in the West. Like that was one of my favorite comedy type things. I'm just a huge Western fan, so but I think The Quick and the Dead actually cultivated that because I watched it as a kid and I loved it as a kid, and it's still one of my favorite movies. It does die off though. Quick and the Dead does not move on. Audience starts us off. It is either Catch Me If You Can or Django Unchained. In a 16 vote difference off of this one, Catch Me If You Can gets the audience's vote. I don't understand that. Don't get me wrong. Catch Me If You Can is a good movie. Django Unchained is uh, I use this term not ironically, but I can see how people would say it. Django Unchained is cinema. If if you would ever describe a movie with a capital M, Django Unchained is a movie with a capital M. It's one of those movies that uh, if you go outside kind of feeling bad for being a white guy, that's because Leonardo DiCaprio is an asshole during this movie, and it is freaking fantastic. Do you want to talk about two completely different characters as well between Django and Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah.
There is a major difference in those two characters as well. So I shout out to them. Shout out to him off of that one. Either way, tie breaking decision. Uh, Isaac, is it Django or Catch Me If You Can?
Now, I do love both these movies, and I love both of these directors. Um, Something about the Spielberg rub makes everybody just love his movies. That was what was generational about Spielberg is that it was like the movies he made. It's weird. Like they say in art, you have to find your niche audience, but Spielberg was like a real big evidence that he just made movies that everybody liked. They all made money. Most of them are timeless. And Catch Me If You Can is one of those Spielberg fun movies to watch. Now, Tarantino, he definitely has a more fixed audience. Uh, Tarantino is a acquired taste, I'd like to believe. Um, especially, you know, Django Unchained, the amount of times they use, let's say, period accurate language. Um, it's definitely an uncomfortable watch if you're not used to hearing that stuff. But I will say, when it comes to the performance level of Leonardo DiCaprio, now I'll admit, Catch Me If You Can is more of a Leo movie than Django Unchained. I'm willing to believe that you would watch Django Unchained for being a Tarantino fan first and maybe a Samuel L. Jackson fan second. But for the limited time compared to the entire film that Leonardo is in Django Unchained, he still has this presence of hateability. And he's got a really strong performance. And also for the single fact alone that he cut his hand open in the table slam scene and he kept on acting.
Mhm.
Dude, that's the type of stuff that I encourage my own actors to do. Hey, if you think something goes wrong, but the director's not stopping you, finish the scene, okay? And that just brings another level of professionalism that Leo has and what separates him from just the average actor. And I love him in Django Unchained. So I'm going to go with Django Unchained.
Gets a vote and the win. That was a tough decision. Um, the two two instances on that one as well that have been brought up recently. Number one is It's a Wonderful Life. You ever seen that one?
Yes, yes, I
Okay,
have.
where Uncle Billy is drunk as hell and then gets gets to go off to walk and you'd hear some crashing noises. He's like, "I'm all right," type thing. That wasn't part of the script, which is why, uh, which is why that scene is so absolutely funny at that point. He didn't trip over trash cans. He tripped over the entire catering service. And Jimmy Stewart, that's why he's laughing so hard is because he watched this happen. And that scene is still in the movie itself. That and in the movie The Punisher, Kevin Nash, who is one of the henchmen. I can't remember actually have the name of the movie or not, but he gets stabbed in the shoulder in the entire hallway, the entire stairwell scene. He's the guy with the red striped shirt. He gets stabbed in the shoulder, and that's supposed to be a prop knife. Was not a prop knife.
Dang.
Real blood, everything else coming down. Completely no sold it. Just looked down on it, looked back up, and finished the scene. They didn't realize it wasn't a prop knife until after the scene was done, and he asked somebody to come over and take a look at it to make sure that it wasn't actually like dangerous. Dangerous. I'm sitting there almost like,
Oh my
damn.
goodness. What movie was that?
The Punisher,
Okay.
the uh, I can't remember any of the people's names in it now. The Yeah, the actual Punisher movie, not the entire remakes ones, but
Yeah. That, in pure Kevin Nash fashion, no selling that. Yeah, that's
no
so
selling that shit.
so cool.
Like just doesn't have feelings. The only time Kevin Nash has ever had feelings is the longest yard, and that was chemical based.
Yes, that's great.
All right, last but not least in this situation, uh, I think I start this one off.
Yeah.
It is either The Beach or Inception.
Oh.
I I'm gonna pass the parcel.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna pass the parcel on this one because I'm a fan of both these movies. I can make arguments for both of them moving on. So Inception, it's going to be Inception. Um, The Beach got spot number 14 off of this one. So Inception will be getting the pass to partial vote. Isaac, is it Beach or Inception?
You made a good call with the past to parcel thing because I feel like, weirdly enough, these are two movies that are kind of hard to compare.
They really
You
are.
know, um, but shoot, I think just because I don't know, ooh, I think we're just gonna go with the veteran actor aspect of Leo, and we're gonna go with Inception on that one.
Gets a
We'll just
second and a third vote. The audience in a 22 vote difference off of this one will be going for Inception as well. Moves on to the semifinals. Before we go, Titanic got spot number 5.
oh
Says
wow,
you can
not number one. That's
no.
interesting.
We'll be getting to that in a second though. Titanic number 5. You can't ignore impact. This movie reached everyone and it earns its emotion, and that matters to me. The Quick and the Dead got spot number 15, which is technically last on this list because apparently everybody forgot about what's eating Gilbert Grape. Fun, flashily, but disposable. A good time that doesn't stick. The Beach got 14. Interesting idea. Scattered execution. It never quite knows what it actually wants to say. And Catch Me If You Can, going from spot number 14 all the way to spot number 1. Says, I love movies that move. This one's smart, fun, and full of confidence. It's about hustle, charm, and momentum, and that's my lane.
That was AI Will Smith's number one.
That
Catch
is
me if you
AI
can.
Will Smith number 1.
Huh.
It's
Not surprised.
it's Will AI.
Oh,
So anyway, we have our top 4. We'll be right back right after this break. I'm gonna talk to some. This is your time to talk about the entire what you're doing with the entire movie, who you are, etc.
absolutely.
Okay, so I got to talk to some pretty incredible people when it comes to this show. One of the weird ventures I get to go into different situations is talking to some people who, since we get to talk about movies all the time and music and everything else on there, I got to talk to some people who are actually out in the field creating the stuff that we get to fall in love with, and that right here is Isaac. Isaac, how you doing today, there, sir? Tell people who you are and what you do and what you got coming up.
Yeah, yeah. So yes, my name is Isaac Joseph. Maybe publicly as a director so far goes by Isaac W. Joseph or Isaac William Joseph. Um, you see, I probably should get around to it very soon, just because I haven't really figured out a succinct way to explain in a poetic and marketable way exactly what I'm doing right now. But long story short, I am a independent film writer and director. Um, I'm trying to go the Tarantino route as best as I can, directing the movies that I write because I am a control freak. But after one bad short film and one really good short film, I feel like I've learned a lot about several different aspects of film and storytelling and networking around all of that. Um, I say, hey, it's about time that I try my first take at a feature. And you know, to I did not expect myself, if you ask myself from high school if I ever had it in me to write something that was 120 plus pages long, I would say that you're crazy. But truthfully, in my effort of writing my first feature film, that's exactly what we've come to. This feature film, before I continue any further, is inspired by the late great Bray Wyatt. He was very influential to me as an adult watching pro wrestling, but um, I loved who he was on on the squared circle and outside of it. Uh, we had a lot of stuff in common. And if you know about Bray Wyatt, if you are a wrestling fan, uh, you might know for several years, people have always been saying, man, they should really make a movie about The Fiend, or they should make a movie about his Bayou cult leader character. And, I was in agreement with that. And then, I look at my situation several years later, and it's like, why not me? Why not I be the one who makes such a movie? Now, obviously, there's some things that I got to avoid so WWE does not sue every dollar that I ever make for the rest of my life. But, oh, I can't hear you right now.
Sorry, I turned my thing off that way I don't interrupt you, or just wait until they don't own the rights to it anymore. Then
That might be a plan too. Yeah, that might be it. But um, we've changed some names, we've changed some aspects, right? Uh, in honor of Bray Wyatt, what is a Bray Wyatt inspired movie without creativity and without originality? So I have put my own creative twist on how I would tell the story of if this Bayou cult leader character was a real life situation. And so um, how I'm doing it is, well, we are really putting a effort in funding the movie. I made two short films with $0. I know how to get away with things for the low, because I've been broke my entire life. And so the dream is, what could I do with $100,000? And so the goal is raise 50,000 via the community and investors, and I think we could double that with a grant. And so how we're doing it right now, although we will have more official things in the future, like Kickstarter, right now we are taking donations via Venmo. I'm trying to I'm putting together other options like PayPal and Cash App, just for the convenience of it all. I don't want someone to be like, oh, I want to donate, but I hate Venmo. But we also have I support indie films merchandise on the Scaldstone shop. You can go there at thescaldstone.com/shop. But yeah, if you love the idea and if you're into the idea, there's also thescaldstone.com/donate. So
I said we have another cohort on not on the show, but does runs his own podcast. Uses the entire buy me a coffee thing too. So
how about
which
that?
is which allows people to send lesser amounts.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Yeah, and so the trade-off, I probably should have gotten to this sooner. Uh, I love telling people, it's a very fair question. Why should I even donate? Other than the fact, like, what if you don't know this Bray Wyatt guy at all? What if the Bayou cult leader thing, psychological thriller, not really a pull, but why should I support? Well, we're doing a trade off, an exchange on a community level, which is right now, and until our first teaser trailer comes out. Right now, um, it's only $10 to donate or more, to get your name in the credits. Okay. I cannot do this by myself. I knew that since the day I came up with this idea. I need the support from thousands of people. And that's why all those people will be credited in the film when this becomes a real life thing. So if you want to have that cool flex of saying, hey, my name's in a feature film, it can be this one for just $10 or however much more that you desire to put towards the project.
something I think be kind of cool. I'm imagining Bray Wyatt's logo in my head where is kind of scratchy in places.
Yeah.
I would see if you can get those names listed in like the entire different colors, which I believe is black, white, and red type thing, and then recreate a similar logo if you can't get the rights to the logo, and just have it so all the scratch marks are just different people's names.
Okay.
So it'd be like a Where's Waldo. type thing, trying to find different names. And then realistically, if you it'd be kind of cool just to find your name, but too if you get a physical copy of it down the road, you'll have the DVD case that has your freaking name on it
Yeah,
somewhere. Like it's like you got to look it right there. It you got to get a magnifying glass, but you can see it.
yeah.
And I don't know, it's just an idea type
I like
thing.
that. I like that. He's got a lot of logos though. If you send me a picture of which one you're talking about, I think I'll know exactly the vision on it. But um, yeah, I from the way that I'm not really much of a businessman when it comes to like the finances of anything. Uh, I pray one day that I just surround myself with smarter men in that aspect of things, and stick to the just the creative side of things. But how I intend, and the only way I intend the production company making money off of this movie at all is through physical media. I want us to be cool like that and hitting that niche of people who love physical media. I want DVDs, I want VHS tapes. If we get a good deal with whoever does the score or any artists that agree to get their music in the film, maybe cassette tapes or other things that you could just pop in and play music with. But um, yeah, I really want to full send the physical media aspect of things if this movie is a home run, because the only way I envision uh, this going to be in theaters across the country is if I offer them a sweet deal, which is 100% of the ticket sales. I don't need a piece of the pie when it comes to the money in theaters. The entire point of this film is to break into the industry and have something that everybody has watched or at least heard about. So that's what we're trying to do.
There you go. I sent you that image, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that. It's appreciated. But yeah, those who are still listening, I'm aware that I'm long-winded. It really helps when you're trying to make a script that's over 120 pages. Okay, that's the one I thought. That's the one I thought you were talking about. That is pretty sick. That would be really hard to get the rights to, but
Well, I mean,
if
like I'm saying, if you're doing something that has the like, it's more of an homage thing to it,
yes,
because even that image reminds me of like Buffalo Bill.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it's not something that you, as long as it's different, but at least with that one you get my idea where it's black, white, and red, and having the names even in the background where it's a black background, but you have a slightly lighter black to it,
yeah,
so it looks raised just a little bit of the names, and in
yeah,
the red, the actual red part of it is just written names in red, with the entire white background to it. So they're just there. It'd be hard to do, but it'd be cool as fuck.
yeah. I'd have to hire an artist with a lot of patience.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
hey, do you want to write down more or less 2,000 names?
hey,
But
some people
yeah,
like a challenge, man. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah. I love that concept. I really, really love that concept.
and even that, like, I wouldn't mind having, if you can get it done, have that image done like that, and then just go on like a poster making site,
Yeah,
and just have that as like a poster
yeah,
type thing.
absolutely.
Even the legitimate movie poster, like if you could have it done as like the legitimate movie poster. I i actually got a movie poster, a the Rumble was yesterday for everybody who, when this is being recorded, Rumble 26 was yesterday. I actually um did my Rumble image, and I'll send that one to you too.
I did see that. Yeah,
Yeah, my Rumble image, uh and I have that as a poster being made. So
I
yeah,
love it.
it should be here in a couple weeks, but I just thought it'd be cool. I thought it'd be something in the background.
Yeah, it's neat. I liked it when I saw it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's clever.
Um, but having stuff like that done, and even if it's something that you never get anything from in the end,
Yeah.
like just having just a copy for you type thing would be absolutely just dope to have.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got a theater sized poster of my last short film hanging out. It's not on any walls because I'm trying to get it framed. I can't imagine myself putting a hole in them. Uh, but yeah, I'm a big fan of stuff like that. Yeah.
I still have my last ever stage show was a was like a once upon a time type thing, and it's was when I was back in college. I still have um that thing lam- laminated, which means
Mhm.
for me I just covered it in packing tape,
Mm.
so it's sealed. It's not going to go anywhere. But it was in storage for the longest time, and now it's it's decorating the hallway coming down to the basement here. So which it's stuff like that, and I have merch from here from the not only this podcast but different shows, um, like stuff like that, metal sign.
Yeah.
Just it's always cool to have stuff like that because like 50 years from now, it's one of those things that is going to be a major conversation piece. And to have whoever creates the poster as well want to have their name into it because like they better add their name to the list, whether
Yeah.
they whether they added to the fund or not, because I mean they did the poster for you. um to do that, if they get a copy of it and they could point out to their friends where their name is at and kind of where's Waldo, stuff like that. I don't know, it'd be a lot of work, but it'd be cool as shit to do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and I don't, as much as magic that an AI has, I don't think the entire AI format could do that in that much detail.
Yeah. I
So,
wouldn't use AI for it anyways.
well, I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
as a rough like a rough draft type
Oh yeah,
concept
like
image.
placeholder designs and stuff. Yeah.
Well, I it's more a concept image,
Yeah. Absolutely.
like giving a concept image to a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Like I don't want this, but I want your flair on what this is.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So anyway, that's what it is. All of my stuff, of course, you guys know what this is. We have multiple shows on here: Bracket Bastard, Central Booking, the Recasting Call, Bastard Backstage, which I have got to get you on one of these days.
Sure.
Just don't listen to a previous episode because it's the same questions for everybody, with the exception of lately. I have a I'll bring in like 10 more questions just for that specific person, but
Yeah.
a majority of it, like 2/3 of it, is just the same questions for every single person because uh, everybody's different. So
Absolutely.
there's that one. PF Jeremiah and his infernal roommate, and of course Tales of Gandaria. Everybody out there who doesn't know what those are, PF Jeremiah and his infernal roommate is, I describe it as a movie review show with a D&D twist. And of course, Tales of Gandara is our new D&D show. So if you're into D&D,
Yeah.
it is a uh, they're doing a full game process, and if you're into that, and just or if you're not into that and want to explore what D&D is, and it'd be a good thing to go ahead and check out. Uh, I also, as a director, I got to get you on one of the recast episodes too, because I think it'd be fun just to get your thought process on movies like The Quick and the Dead, for instance, Breakfast at Tiffany's, How to Murder Your Wife, Clue, which I actually think we have that one picked up, The Breakfast Club, Charade, and Miracle on 34th Street. We take movies made before 2000 and
Yeah.
ask the only question that really needs to be asked about a movie that old, about what would happen if that movie were made today.
Mm.
So, um, and it's an actual like down to earth serious conversation.
Yeah,
So
it's
the
earnest.
only
Yeah.
movie I tell people the only movie we will never do on that one unless it's our very last episode because I guarantee you we're gonna get canceled for it is the Princess Bride.
Oh, okay.
So there's that one. Uh, Central Booking is a pro wrestling show. You guys all know what that is, and of course you guys know what Blockbusters is as well. So check all that out and more in the future. I ran out of drink earlier. I don't like that. Okay.
I forgot to grab one. I've been doing this dry this whole time.
The only thing I have left to drink,
Ah, yeah. Screw. Oh, I see.
not a sponsor. Could be. No, I usually have a. Well, I have that and my Christmas gift this year. My entire not my Secret Santa, my white elephant gift this year.
Hey, you know what? Can't go wrong if one brother likes to drink.
The really sad part is that I don't drink, so I don't. I've
It's a
had that
display.
same. I've had that same bottle of Screwball for 3.5 years.
Oh man.
Yeah. All right. Welcome back for round three and beyond. We're going out to the end of the game off of this one. Uh, Isaac starts us off. Isaac, one name, pick one of these four movies: The Departed, Inception, Django Unchained, or Wolf of Wall Street.
Ooh, dang.
That is it's the movie we're starting the movie and matchup we are starting off with.
Okay. Ooh, just pick one. One of
Just
those
pick
four.
one.
Hmm. Ah, goodness. I think I'm gonna go with Django Unchained. Yeah.
All right. So it is either in this matchup you start us off. This is the last time, by the way, to use this one and the next one. So these last two are the last time to use your pass to parcel. Pass to parcel. All steal votes are off the board. It is either Django Unchained or The Departed.
Hmm. So I go first right now.
Yep.
Okay. You know, it is funny that The Departed has made it this far. I think I'm done messing around. Django Unchained. No notes.
Audience in a 9 vote difference is going to go with Departed off of this
Oh
one.
wow.
Yeah, I mean, people seem to like that movie. It beat out Gangs of New York and Titanic. Actually, it made it to round two with Titanic, but Titanic ended up beating that. Titanic
Titanic's
actually
Titanic.
ended up going to the finals, as far as the
Well, of
audience goes.
course. Yeah,
It was Titanic and Wolf of Wall Street in the finals for the audience.
that just
So
makes sense.
uh, I'm gonna go for Django though. Again, The Departed, as I said before, rewatchability. It's a hard movie to watch to even start with, but then again, Django is also kind of a hard movie to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But realistically, there's a lot of comedy in this movie too.
Yes.
It's dark
Yeah.
as hell,
Mm-hmm.
but it's kind of a comedy in a really bad way. So
Yeah.
I in a rewatchability factor alone, I'm gonna go with Django Unchained as well. Gets my vote and the win. Yeah, I love having a bigger board. I can write bigger. Fantastic. On the flip side of that one, audience starts this off. It is either Inception or Wolf of Wall Street. It's gonna be Wolf of Wall Street and an 18 vote difference off of that one gets a vote. I enjoyed Wolf of Wall Street, but you being my guest, I'm going to give you a tie-breaking decision just so you can pick your pick to go on to who's ever facing Django in the
Yeah.
finals.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with Wolf of Wall Street just because. genuinely, I think that was like the first Leo movie that I watched, and it's I didn't even have to rewatch it for this. It's it's a movie that just leaves a mark on you. I definitely saw it when I was way too young to see it, but it's a that movie almost made me pursue that as a career. Genuinely, thank God. But yeah, it's a very influential movie. It very much is.
Wolf of Wall Street moves on to the finals. It's third place. It's going to be The Departed versus Inception. But before we get to that, it's and oh, my phone turned off. That shouldn't be the case. Between since they are both officially off the board right now, but they're still going for third place. Departed, according to uh, chat chat Willie I, Inception got is very high up on the list. It ended up getting spot number 3. Big ideas, big scale, and it trusts the audience. It's kind of the blockbuster that actually says something. And The Departed, spot number 7. Incredible performances and tension, but it's clinical. I respect it more than I enjoyed it, which is true. That's kind of how I feel about it too. Realistically, I respect the movie, but it's it's not something I would watch again
Yeah.
for me. Third place, I get to start us off. I just because I won't be able to do it in the finals.
Oh!
I'm gonna blow my load off of this one. Isaac, is it The Departed or Inception?
Think I'll go with Inception on this one. Yeah.
Gets a vote. Uh, okay. In a one vote difference
Wow.
in the audience, it is a one vote difference. By the way, for everybody out there, if the audience ties on stuff like this, as the deeper we go, it ends up going to whoever passed the parcel is because it turns out to be a
Mm.
tie. That's but it's not on this one. The Departed did not get that vote. It is Inception off of this one, so no matter what, Inception gets third place. I'm gonna agree with it. I'm gonna go Inception as well. The only reason I was gonna blow my load in the last one like I normally do, but I'm going third. So unless Isaac would have blown his load at the beginning, I wouldn't have been able to do it. Isaac, finals.
Yes.
It is either Django Unchained or Wolf of Wall Street.
Ah, this would be my finals, and I'm glad that we're here and looking at these two movies. And sticking to my rule of how I'm gonna rank these movies is purely off of Leo's performance. Now, if Leo was in more of Django Unchained, because like I think that's the only reason why Leo probably did not get an Oscar for this movie, is because he's in a minority of the film for Django Unchained. What's his first name? I know his last name's Candy for that character. Is it Caleb?
I I think so.
Caleb Candy. Um, he is one of the most effective, hateable characters in cinema history. And what's really impressive is he doesn't need the whole movie to get that point across. Um, but when it comes to pure, this is the Leo movie. This is what I think should be his, if he's going to have a lone Oscar, should be his lone Oscar. It has to be Wolf of Wall Street. That movie is Leo's movie. That is Leonardo DiCaprio's movie. Um, it's just, yeah, that is such a one of a kind story. that to this day is referenced in pop culture. Um, and it's just it's touched so many different things. There's memes. There's a lot of things. This movie, you can't. I don't think it's something that you can compare to most others because I think it's bonus points for originality. Um, but I love this movie. Wolf of Wall Street is a great movie.
So Isaac went through the entire show without blowing his load. So
Yes.
congratulations to that one. The audience, by the way, before we get to the audience vote, uh, no matter what, you were gonna ended up gonna be the tie breaking decision off of this one because the audience voted Wolf of Wall Street through the entire thing. It was the audience's vote winning Wolf of Wall Street on the audience's bracket. I am a huge fan of Django Unchained. I personally think it should have won, but I am satisfied with second place off of this one. Before I give my personal vote, though, Django Unchained got spot number 4 for Will AI. Says the purpose behind the violence. There's purpose behind the violence. It's bold, emotional, and cathartic. I'm always drawn to stories where justice actually lands. And Wolf of Wall Street ended up getting spot number 2 off of this one. So this is pure star power. Loud, fearless, funny, and commanding. You feel the energy through the screen, and I respect that. So even Will AI agrees with the decision off of this one. Uh, I'm gonna give mine to Django. I think it deserves to vote, but Wolf of Wall Street gets first, Django second, and Inception third. Realistically, I think that is a really good podium when it comes down to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is our show this week, guys. Make sure to check out some other shows that we have on the ABC Pod. You can find Isaac at
Oh, sorry. That's my part. Sorry.
oh
I thought you were gonna read some stuff off.
nope.
But yes, right now, to support and get the word out there for my first ever feature film funding, I am doing daily posts of me just uh, giving updates on the funding, but also adding in just a unique fact, maybe a little bit more about the movie, maybe a little bit about uh, different ways to donate. But these are all going to be connected to a social media on any of these platforms, except for Twitter. I don't really use that, but uh, I am on TikTok at it's.justisaac. It's the only platform that is under my name instead of my production company's name, simply because that's where, I don't know, socially the ball really got rolling on. Uh, and then everywhere else, the YouTube, there's daily posts on there. Go to Scaldstone Productions on YouTube, SKALDSTONE Productions. Um, Also, at Scaldstone on Instagram, where the daily posts are there. And then, Facebook is Facebook. You can find me at Isaac William Joseph on there. The daily posts, I should start sharing those daily posts on the Scaldstone Facebook page. But when it comes to publicity and reach, Facebook is kind of a softer source. Ironically, though, uh, I've gotten the most donations through Facebook connections. So I think it's because, that's where the most people that know me personally are from, the more people who are willing to give me money. So, uh,
It's
you know,
also where a majority of the older crowd is at too. The people who actually have the money.
this is true. This is true. So every single social media brings its own little purpose to aid the funding of this film. But yeah, that's where you guys can find me.
And of course, I'm your host, Freddie Fisher. You can find on Twitter. Sorry, I'm your host, Freddie Fisher. You can find me that on Facebook. While you're on Facebook, check out Bracket Bastard, the audience vote. You vote along with us every single week. Coming up, of course, we have currently going on in the, I think it's round, I think it's the quarterfinals right now. We have "Fuck You" songs or the entire clapback song. So we have that going on. And then since I could only really find 32 good ones that I wanted to go off of that one. That list, by the way, anybody out there, uh, the full list is on the Facebook page, and the link to the Spotify list is there too. So there's some cool songs on there. Some of them you probably never actually heard. Since we're doing fuck you songs, we might as well go ahead and do fuck two songs for the holiday season, for the Valentine's Day, the Single Awareness Day, as always. Aliens, after that, some out of the world flicks, some Irish movies to celebrate the month of March. And then to finalize everything, we have movies that need to be remade for our resurrection special for Easter. And yes, that is a religious joke.
I love that so
So
much.
that is what it is. On Twitter, I'm at Fisher777. We're all at Bracket Pod on Instagram. As always, you can find me at Can't Lick Me. Not one word. I like to leave every single show with a quote. Today's quote is, of course, from Leonardo DiCaprio. I had to include him. We're celebrating him today. Might as well go ahead and do it. This is from Titanic. The late but great Jack Dawson says, from the dining scene, life is a gift. I don't intend on wasting it. You never know what hand you'll get dealt next. You learn to take life as it comes at you. To make each day count. That is our show this week, guys. Have a good one.